Before the world knew their names, Michelle Knight, Amanda Berry, and Gina DeJesus were simply three women from Cleveland, each with dreams and lives ahead of them. But somehow, fate played a twisted game, and their lives became intertwined. Along with their names is a story of how they managed to escape a seemingly endless nightmare and turned their tragedy into triumph. Trapped by Ariel Castro in an ordinary house, their tale is not just all about their suffering, but also their spirit and hope. Today, we are going to uncover the series of astonishing mistakes made by their captor and critical oversights by authorities that ultimately pierced their prison walls, leading to an unexpected escape into freedom. The harrowing tale begins with 21-year-old Michelle Knight, the first of the three victims. It all began on August 22, 2022. Back then, Michelle was bravely battling the curveballs life was throwing at her. She was struggling with a lot of family issues as well as custody battles over her son, but she remained strong and resilient because she wanted a better life and future for herself and her son. Before she disappeared, she was last seen at a cousin's house. It was just an ordinary day for Michelle, but she crossed paths with Ariel Castro, who lured her with the promise of a puppy for her son. But she never came back, and she was never seen again. What people did not know was that this was only the beginning of a dark saga in Cleveland's history, and Ariel Castro's evil acts were just getting started. After Michelle, Amanda Berry's story adds another harrowing chapter to this tale of survival. On April 21, 2003, the eve of her 17th birthday, Amanda was last seen leaving her job at a local Burger King. When she did not come home, her family and the community were worried. Unbeknownst to those searching for her, Amanda had fallen prey to the same sinister trap that had ensnared Michelle Knight, pulled into Ariel Castro's orbit by a cunning deception.
I had gotten off of work early that day, and I worked at Burger King. I called my sister for a ride. She was at work, and I had called a friend for a ride, and he didn't answer, so I just started walking. And as I was walking, there was a van, and it was in a driveway that I had to go around. I looked up, saw a man and a girl in the van. The girl looked like someone that I had worked with, so, I smiled at them, continued to walk. A couple minutes later, the van pulls up, and he says, "Do you need a ride?"
Along with Michelle, Amanda became a part of the victims of Ariel Castro's evil intentions. She was the second one, until finally, on April 2, 2004, the last victim, 14-year-old Gina DeJesus, was taken away.
I was walking home from school with his daughter, Arlene Castro, and she used the payphone to call her mom to ask her if she could come to my house, and her mom said no. She went her other way, and I went the other way. He asked me if I seen his daughter, and I said yes, and he was like, "Can you help me find her?" And I was like, yes, and then he didn't turn around. We ended up going to his house.
During this time, he was asking for help to move some stereo equipment. Gina did not think twice about helping, since he is almost like a family friend to her. But help was not needed, and instead, she was taken away as well. Her disappearance devastated her family, adding another layer of horror to the already chilling Cleveland kidnappings. The community is on the edge and is fervently looking for the three young ladies. They have no idea where they are or who might have abducted them. Unfortunately, these disappearances are just the beginning of their long time in captivity, trapped with a horrible man who will do the most awful things to them. The life of Michelle Knight, Amanda Berry, and Gina DeJesus inside the grim walls of Ariel Castro's house was an unsupervised hellscape characterized by indecency and cruelty. These conditions were not just poor, they were intended to harm the human spirit.
That's the only way I can describe it. I was hanging like this, my feet, and I was tied by my neck and my arms with the stench cord going like that.
These chains, bloodless and unyielding, became symbols of the control Castro exerted over them. They were placed in rooms that acted like makeshift prison cells, and the windows were boarded up to hide them from the outside world and conceal any screams or other sounds they might make. Castro used a lot of mechanisms to keep the three ladies captive. From rigging doors with alarms, he managed to create an environment that was full of distrust and isolation. He also played with their minds, taunting them with freedom.
He would play mind games and set up seeming opportunities for her to escape. A door left unlocked, a chain that was not properly connected. Then he would make a show of leaving and sneak back into the house to see if he could catch her trying to escape. And if and when he did, the punishment was swift, it was brutal, and it lasted for days and days at a time.
Castro was also pitting them against each other, so the girls never really united and worked together. He knew that if they decided to join hands, they would overpower him, so isolating them from each other would be the best. The psychological and bodily torment turned relentless, and it almost destroyed the victims. However, the resilience of Michelle, Amanda, and Gina shines as a beacon of human energy amidst such darkness. In the entire decade that they were under Ariel Castro's control, there were a lot of things that happened that underscored the severity of their situation. Amanda gave birth to a daughter in 2006, adding an entirely different emotional dimension to the already frustrating situation they are in.
I just wanted her to know when she got out that she was going to be as normal as any other kid that was in the classroom.
Amanda did her best and raised her child in conditions no one should endure. Even during her mother's death, Amanda stayed strong, even if it is heartbreaking to think that her mother passed away believing she was missing, but alive somewhere. Amid these unthinkable conditions, the spirit of survival and hope never wavered for Michelle, Amanda, and Gina. Despite the physical chains that bound them, their indomitable will to survive kept the possibility of freedom a flicker in the darkest of nights. And amidst being in captivity, there were times when hope tried to enter their lives and get them out of their misery. Now you might think, during the entire time that the three young ladies were abducted, was there ever a time they almost found help? The answer is yes. Their tale of abduction is punctuated by a series of missed opportunities and glaring police failures that put into light the systemic issues in response to their disappearances. One instance happened in 2004 when the police visited the one where they were being kept, when a report about a child left unattended on a school bus happened. Castro was a school bus driver at the time, but he managed to somehow explain the incident away. A child being left unattended should be perceived as alarming, but the police failed to investigate further and shrugged the incident off. In the years that followed, some incidents could have led to their discovery. Between 2011 and 2012, some neighbors reported suspicious activities at Castro's home, which included the sound of pounding on the doors. There was even one incident when a neighbor spotted naked women on leashes and on all fours, being led around in the backyard. But the police did not take the report seriously. The delayed response and overlooked clues that could have been spotted around Castro's house just made Michelle, Amanda, and Gina suffer even longer. The lack of action from law enforcement related to missing persons and reports of suspicious behavior contributed to the already harrowing situation the girls are going through. But sometimes, even the most intricately planned things still fail. And for Ariel Castro's case, it was his waning vigilance that finally opened up some hope for the girls. It was a critical mistake that would eventually lead to the unraveling of his crimes. Since many years have passed, Ariel Castro most likely felt confident that the three women were completely under his control. Despite all the meticulous contaminants and acts he did to make sure the girls were staying with him, it was his arrogance and complacency that led to the pivotal moment. He started leaving the doors unlocked. His overconfidence most likely made him think that the three women would not dare to go out of the house. This just shows how depraved and arrogant he is, that he thinks that the girls will not leave even if the doors are unlocked. He believes that even if they can go outside, they will choose to stay, because the only life they know now is with him. But he was wrong. On May 6, 2013, Amanda Berry noticed that one of the doors, usually secured to prevent any hope of escape, was unlocked. This moment although full of uncertainty because she might get caught, was the only opportunity, and she had to grab it now. Her heart was pounding in the desperate hope for freedom, and she finally made the bold decision to take a risk that could either lead to her freedom or put her in a worse situation. She moved towards the door, opened it, and found herself partially out of the house. But she faced another barrier, which was a locked storm door. In a frantic effort, she caught the attention of neighbors who, sensing the urgency and fear in her actions, did not hesitate to assist. A neighbor bravely kicked in the bottom panel of the storm door, which allowed Amanda to escape with her daughter. Calling out for help, she managed to attract the attention of Charles Ramsey, a neighbor who assisted her in making a 911 call.
Cleveland 911, you need...
Hello, please. Help me, I'm Amanda Berry.
You need police, fire, or ambulance.
I need police.
Okay, and what's going on there?
I've been kidnapped and I've been missing for 10 years and I'm here. I'm free now.
Okay, and what's your address?
2207 Seymour Avenue.
2207 Seymour. It looks like you're calling me from 2210.
Huh?
Looks like you're calling me from 2210.
I can't hear you.
It looks like you were calling me from 2210 Seymour.
Yeah, I'm across the street. I'm using the phone.
Okay, stay there with those neighbors. Talk to the police when they get there.
Okay.
Okay, talk to the police when they get there.
Okay. Hello?
Yeah, talk to the police when they get there.
Okay, I'm on the way right now. I
We're
need
going
them
to send
now.
them as soon as we get a car open.
No, I need them now before we get back.
All right, we're sending them, okay?
Okay, I mean, like,
Who's the
right
guy?
now.
Who's the guy you're? Who's the guy who went out?
His name is Ariel Castro.
All right, how old is he?
He's like 52.
All right, and
Steven, I'm Amanda Berry. I've been on the news for the last 10 years.
okay, I got that here. I already. And you said what was his name again?
Ariel Castro.
And is he white, black, or
I'm
Hispanic?
Hispanic.
And what's he wearing?
I don't know because he's not here right now. That's
When
why
he
I
left,
got away.
when he left, what was he wearing?
Sweetheart, it's a pity. What?
All right, the police are on the way. Talk to them when they get there. Okay?
I need. Okay.
I told you they're on the way. Talk to them when they get there. Okay?
All right. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
After this call, the police arrived and were able to finally rescue the other women from the house that had been their prison for so many years. The end of their suffering was just the beginning of the end for Ariel Castro. The immediate aftermath of the escape was emotionally charged, marked by tearful reunions with families and overwhelming public support. The story of Michelle, Amanda, and Gina resonated worldwide, becoming a symbol of resilience and hope.
Hey, Charles, let me talk to you. I'm talking with Charles Ramsey. He's a neighbor. Walk me through again what happened this afternoon. You heard screaming.
Heard screaming. I'm eating my McDonald's. I come outside. I see this girl going nuts, trying to get out of her house. So I go on the porch.
Okay.
I go on the porch, and she says, "Help me get out. I've been in here a long time." So I figured it's a domestic violence dispute. So I open the door, and we can't get in that way because how the door is, it's so much that a body can't fit through, only your hand. So we kick the bottom, and she comes out with the little girl, and she says, "Call 911. My name was Amanda Berry."
Now, did you know who that was when she said that?
When she told me, it didn't register until I got the call in 911, and I'm like, I'm calling the 911 for Amanda Berry? I thought this girl was dead. You know what I mean? And she got on the phone and she said, "Yes, this is me." And the detective, Cook, right here, Detective Gregory Cook says, "Charles, do you know who you rescued?" I said.
Now, and when did you see Gina?
About 5.
We're good. So
About 5 minutes after the police got here. See, the girl Amanda told the police, "I ain't just the only ones. It's some more girls up in that house." So they went up there, 30, 40 deep, and when they came out was just astonishing because I thought they were going to come up with nothing. I figured, whoever she was, and like I say, my neighbor, you got some big testicles to pull this off, bro, because we see this dude every day. Every day.
how long have you lived here?
I've been here a year.
Okay.
You see where I'm coming from?
Right.
I barbecue with this dude. we eat ribs and whatnot and listen to salsa music. You see where I'm coming from?
And you had no indication that there was anything going on?
Bro, not a clue that girl was in that house or anybody else was in there against their will, because how he is he just comes out to his backyard, plays with the dogs, tinker with his cars and motorcycles, goes back in the house. So he's somebody that you look away because he's not doing nothing but the average stuff. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ain't nothing exciting about him. Well, until the day.
What was the reaction on the girls' faces? I can't imagine to see the sunlight, to be around
Bro,
people.
I knew something was wrong when a little pretty white girl ran into a black man's arms. Something is wrong here. Dead giveaway. Dead giveaway.
Charles, thank you very much.
Dead giveaway.
Thank you very much for your time. And
either she homeless or she got problems. That's the only reason why she run to a black man.
In court, Ariel Castro was laid with charges that reflected the depravity of his crimes, and he ended up pleading guilty to a total of 937 criminal counts, which included kidnapping, rape, and aggravated murder. His guilty plea was his desperate measure to avoid getting the death penalty, showing his cowardice now that he is facing the consequences of his actions.
Mr. Castro, my understanding from meeting with your counsel and counsel for the state is that a plea agreement has been reached in this matter. Are you fully aware of the terms and do you consent to that plea agreement?
I am fully aware and I do consent to it.
You understand that by virtue of the plea, you will not be having a trial.
I am aware of that.
The law states that a prisoner serving a sentence of life imprisonment without parole under 2929.03 is not eligible for parole, will not receive parole, and will be imprisoned until death. Do you understand this?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
In August 2013, he was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, plus 1,000 years. But he was still a coward through and through. Instead of facing the charges, he ended his life on September 3rd, 2013, when he was found dead in his prison cell. The house where the three women were held captive for a decade was also demolished, a symbolic gesture that removed the reminder of their suffering for the past 10 years. The horrifying story of the crimes committed by Ariel Castro is nothing to the bravery and strength displayed by the three women who endured everything until they found their chance to free themselves. Amanda Berry and Gina DeJesus made use of their tragic past to become strong beacons of powerful advocacy and community involvement. Amanda became a passionate advocate for missing individuals and actively works to prevent similar tragedies. Gina contributes significantly to community outreach, demonstrating remarkable strength and dedication to helping others.
Our foundation's name is the Cleveland Family Center for Missing Children and Adults. My center is located right next door to where I was held at. I just want to turn the neighborhood, I want to turn it to like positive, and I want to give back, so.
Everybody in life that goes through a tragedy, that's been in the dark for so long, needs to see the sunset and the sunrise. Just show the people that have harmed us that they don't control us anymore.
Meanwhile, Michelle Knight, now known as Lily Rose Lee, has devoted herself to supporting victims of domestic violence, human trafficking, and child abuse through her foundation, Lily's Ray of Hope, and also champions animal welfare with her nonprofit group, Unleashed Animal Rescue. Despite their shared history, it is reported that Amanda and Gina no longer communicate with Michelle, a distressing outcome reflecting the deep psychological scars left by Castro, who manipulated and pitted them against one another. This harrowing tale acts as a reminder of the significant impact that community awareness and proactive involvement can have in supporting law enforcement efforts and potentially saving lives. It highlights the need for major changes in how missing persons cases are handled and emphasizes the remarkable strength of survivors who have overcome such severe hardships. What are your thoughts on the stories of Michelle, Amanda, and Gina's courage and resilience? Do you think justice was served, even if Ariel Castro passed away in prison? Share your reflections in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more true crime. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.